welcome to this session of Spirit Flow. I'm recording this shortly after the Easter bombings in Sri Lanka where I live. So I think really at this time it's so important that we put into practice our ability to keep our thoughts captive to Jesus. And that's what the practice of Spirit Flow helps us to do, to keep our minds from running off onto all kinds of different tangents according to circumstances. It helps us to really keep our focus on the Word of God, to keep our mind fixed on Him and bring every thought captive to Christ. And at the same time, obviously, we'll be doing a physical practice. And today we're going to move into, maybe at the end of the session, we'll be able to move into the splits to a certain level. Requires length of hamstring, quads, hip flexors, openness in the hips. So there's all kinds of steps we can take to get there. But in the beginning of the session, let's take a moment just to settle the mind. Close your eyes, take your awareness inwards to your breath. Allow your breath to become the anchor for the mind. Let thoughts that come in to your mind while you're here just move on, so that you're learning to not let your mind take control. You are not your mind. Your mind is the faculty of the soul, and you are a spirit being born again, and you can decide what to think. So just allow your mind now to settle on the breath. And then when you're feeling a little more settled, start to inhale up through the center of the body and really feel that inhale lift and open the belly, the ribs, the collarbone. So it's a really deep inhale without over-breathing. And a full, complete exhale all the way back down to the pit of the belly. Just a very simple breathing practice, but really does help to calm the nervous system. And perhaps just start to visualize yourself in the secret dwelling place of the Most High. This is where you abide. It's not just a place where your spirit is, it's also a place where your mind can really be settled in the peace and in the joy and in the righteousness of the Holy Spirit, which is the kingdom of God. It's like an invisible bubble surrounding you the whole time. Wherever you go, you are in that secret dwelling place, so long as you believe it. And then just gently taking your hands to your heart, just take a moment here to really connect to the Spirit within you. Allow the Spirit to move you as you move, keeping your full focus on your breath and on your body. And then just open your eyes and stretch your legs out. Maybe move them a little bit. So we need to stretch the quads for Hanumanasana, and the hamstrings, hip flexors, and the hips. And we need to have an open heart. So let's start by a modified pose of where we're going to stretch out the left quad by taking the left heel in towards the outer left hip. You can keep the right foot flat on the mat. If this is enough for you, stay here. If it's too much for you, use a block under your sit bones, and that will take the strain off the quadricep muscle. But if you're quite comfortable here and you feel you can go a little further, then you can start to walk take your hands behind you, lift the heart, and start to come down. So maybe you come down onto your elbows and stay here. You really want to press this leg down, press the calf down, press the thigh down into the mat, really energetically, so that you're really pressing it down firmly, and then start to maybe come down a little bit further. Try and come down a little more gently than that. And if you're here, and that's enough for you, stay there. Or you can take your arms over your head, maybe interlock your elbows with your opposite hand, and let the arms be heavy behind you. Close your eyes here and take a couple of breaths. Just breathe. Feel the breath once again coming into your body, lifting the belly, widening the ribs, widening the collarbone. And a full exhale all the way down so your back spine softens into the mat. Keep lengthening that left knee away from you. Good. And just breathe. Try to keep your mind in that place of peace, in the secret dwelling place of the Most High. Under the shadow of the Almighty, no harm can come to us when we're in that place. And then release your hands down, press your hands into the mat, and just start to lift up, try and come up gracefully, and then all the way up. Sit up nice and tall. Release that left leg forward, flex the foot, hug the right thigh into your chest, and just pull the toes of that left foot back. And you're just getting a nice gentle stretch down the back of that left hamstring after stretching the quads. And then release. Take the left foot flat on the mat. I'll just turn around so you can see a bit better. Take the right heel in towards the outside of the right hip. Again, you can stay there, or you prop yourself up on a block if it's too much. Or you start to make your way back. Try to keep the heart lifted as you come back. So try not to sort of slouch back. Try to come back with a lifted heart, shoulder tips back. Maybe you can go back a little bit more elegantly than I did last time. Keep pressing that right thigh and calf down, and then come down all the way. As you take your elbows behind you, maybe try and take the other hand in front, if you can remember how you did it. And again, just let the breath be deep on the inhale and full on the exhale, and keep lengthening that right thigh down and away. So the knee, you're trying to get the knee towards the front of the mat, or towards the short edge of the mat as much as possible. And again, just watch where your mind goes, just bring it back, practice this idea of keeping it steady in that secret dwelling place. And then release your hands down and make your way up. Tuck your chin in so that your head's not dropping back. And then come all the way up. Keeping your left foot on the mat, stretch your right leg out. Hug your left knee in, sit up nice and tall. Draw the toes back of that right leg. And then take both feet flat on the mat. Grab a strap or a belt. If you haven't got one already, just press pause and go and get one. And then roll all the way back down to the mat. And hug your right knee into the chest. Take the strap around the ball of the right foot. Now try and keep that thigh of the right foot really pulled in close to your chest. And then start to press out through the heel, so that you're feeling a stretch in the belly of the hamstring. Press the heel away from you. Keep drawing the thigh towards your chest, and then release down. And just pump it a couple of times. Pump that right leg a few times. Just getting the blood going. So you might, your knee might be a little bit more bent than mine, so it might be a little bit more straight than mine. Just go where is good for you, where you can keep the knee quite close to the chest if possible. And then just keep pressing out through the heel, straighten the leg a little bit more. Your leg may be down here a bit more, that's also fine. Depends on the length of your hamstrings. And then perhaps take both parts of the strap into your right hand, stretch your left leg out. Keep drawing the toes back, keep pressing out through the heel of the left foot, especially the inner ankle. Try not to let the foot swivel, really lengthen the inner leg. Lengthen through the inseam of that left leg and press the back of the thigh towards the mat. Keep your shoulders soft, keep your face soft. Press your left hand onto your left hip and start to open the right leg to the right. Try not to roll onto the right side though. Keep really quite actively pull the left hip and left thigh down, and then you can draw the right toes a little closer towards you. Try not to let that foot just collapse onto the floor. There's a little bit of engagement in the outer right hip. You should feel a good stretch through the inner thigh muscles there, those hip flexors. And then inhale up. Draw the toes back. Release the strap and slowly lower the leg to the floor. And just use your belly a little bit as you lower the leg down. Pause and feel when it reaches the floor, so you can feel there's a difference on the right side. And then place the right foot on the mat, hug the left knee in. I'll turn around the other way. And again, you're going to take the strap around the ball of the left foot. Start by keeping the thigh close to the chest, and then straighten the leg from there. You'll feel the muscles start to work here, pumping. A few times again, keep the face nice and soft. And then stretch that leg as straight as you can without pressing the kneecap back. So you don't kind of want to lock it, you want to keep a little softness here, but you're pressing the energy out through the heel. And then you can straighten that right leg, keep pressing the energy out through the heel, draw the toes back. Straighten the right leg, press your hand into your right hip to stop it rolling, and take the left leg over to the left. And then really try and press the right side of your body down. Press the right shoulder down, the right hip down, the right thigh down, lengthening through the inseam of the right leg. And then you're drawing the left toes up a little closer towards you. So it's reaching to the floor, but then you're resisting with that outer left hip. And then take that foot back up. Take the strap in both hands. Take the foot a little closer to your head if you can. Release the strap and slowly lower down. Good job. And then just take a moment, hug your knees to your chest, cross your ankles, roll up. Come onto all fours. Move through a few cat-cow curls. Probably done this 100 times before. But inhale, scoot the heart forward and up, arch the back. Exhale, curl the back. Press the floor away from you, roll the shoulders out, away from the ears. Inhale, scoot the heart forward and up, lift the tailbone and the head. Exhale, round and curl, lift the belly up, lift the ribs up, lift the thoracic spine. Take it back to downward dog, to a neutral spine. Tuck the toes, press the chest towards your thighs, keep your knees bent. Lengthen the tailbone, lengthen the spine by lifting the hips as high as you can, but you can keep the knees bent, roll the shoulders away from the ears. So corkscrew your upper arms away from each other, and then pedal your feet. We've opened the hamstrings a bit already, so just pedal your feet. And then press both heels towards the floor. And lift your belly up softly towards your ribs, so you're not sagging. Keep rolling the shoulders outwards, pressing to the inner thumb bone. And then spin both heels to the right, pressing to the left hand
And keep lifting that left hip up and take it back. And then swivel both feet to the left, pressing to your right hand. Lift the right hip up and back and in to really get a good stretch down the right side. Take it back to downward dog. Hinge forward into plank pose as you inhale, look forward. And exhale, push back down dog. We'll do this twice more. Inhale, forward plank pose, keep collarbone wide, belly engaged, legs active. Exhale, downward dog. Last time, inhale, forward plank pose, belly is engaged, collarbone wide. Exhale, downward dog. And then walk your hands back to your feet, fold into a full forward fold. Make sure your feet are parallel, drop the crown of the head down, release the back of the neck, opposite elbow with opposite hand. Just try to pour out of your pelvis. Good. And then take your hands to your hips and come all the way up to stand with a flat back. Very nice. Take your hands to your heart. Stand tall. Remember about pressing your feet down into the floor and away from each other so your legs are engaged. Tailbone drop, sit bones drop towards the floor. Shoulders stay wide, collarbone wide, heart lifts. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Keep reaching forward with your heart, but keep your legs active, strong. And then bend the knees when you need to. Inhale, flat back. Scoop the heart forward, lengthen the crown of the head. Exhale, fold. Walk your hands all the way out for downward dog. Inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale, right foot forward, left knee down. Reach your arms forward and up for a low lunge. So sit bones hug forward, zip up from the lower belly, open the heart, let that left thigh drop, but keep hugging the right hip back and in. Don't let the right hip stick out. Good. Hands to the mat. Lift the back leg off the mat. Come onto fingertips, look forward, and then step back down, push back downward dog. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, left foot forward, right knee down. Hug that left hip back and in, reach your arms forward and up. And again, try and drop, let the pelvis be heavy, but zip up from the lower belly. Hands to the mat, lift the back knee off, inhale, look forward, exhale, push back downward dog. Inhale, forward into plank pose. Exhale, knees to the mat, elbows back, shoulders back. All the way to the mat, hands under shoulders, fingers spread, elbows and shoulders move back. Press into your feet, try and spread the toes. And then inhale, lift the heart forward and up for cobra. Exhale, push back, downward dog. Inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale, right foot forward. Spin the back heel down. Rise up for warrior two. Take a moment to set your feet, heel in and step in line. Drop into the front hip, press the thigh towards the little toe side. Don't let the knee drop in. Reach with your back arm back, and then reach with your forward front arm. Soften the shoulders. Whoa. Try and get steady, unlike me. Good. And drop into that front leg, that front thigh. Keep pressing it open, but again, lift the back thigh up so you're not collapsing into the back thigh. Take it back for a reverse warrior. You can take the left hand down the back of the left leg. Drop into the front knee a little more. Lift up, really lengthen that right side body. Take it back, warrior two. And hinge over for your Parsvakonasana. You can stay up on your leg if you wish to. Try not to let the left shoulder drop. Roll the heart up, up, up. Press into that left foot a lot. And then reach and lengthen the left side body. Good. Spin towards the front foot. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, push back, downward dog. Inhale, forward into plank pose. Okay, if you want to come down with knees off the mat, do so. If you want to come into upward dog, is also fine. So exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. I'm going to turn the other way. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, left foot forward. Spin the back heel down, rise up, warrior two. And just take a moment, set your feet. Remember, you want the heel of the front foot in line with the instep more or less of the back foot and the back toes facing forward slightly. As you drop into the left knee, press the left knee towards little toe side and keep drawing the right side of the body back. Imagine you could keep your whole body facing the long edge of the mat and then reach your arms without hinging over the front leg. Keep pressing into the outside edge of the back foot a lot. Reach back for the reverse warrior. You can look down to the back foot or up to you, but try to keep that arc of energy so the elbow isn't sort of bent, it's just arcing, in theory. And then take it into warrior two, exhale into your feet and hinge forward for Parsvakonasana. So open first, reach the right arm up, lift the heart, press sit bones forward, and then anchor the outside edge of the right foot and reach that right arm over. And there's a little corkscrew action to draw the shoulder away from the ear, even though you're stretching the arm. And take the crown of the head over towards the front of the mat. Lift the chin out of the chest. Roll, roll, roll your heart up. Smile. And then sweep your arms forward. Inhale, look forward in the lunge. Exhale, push back, downward dog. And so the vinyasas are optional. You can rest in a child's pose. If you know what that is, I haven't even shown you. You can take your knees down and rest. Or you come forward into plank and move through your vinyasa. Exhaling, you can come all the way to the mat and come into cobra. Keep squeezing the outer shoulders back. Try not to let the shoulders come up at any time. Squeeze the outer shoulders back and then take it back, downward dog. Well done. Inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale, right foot forward. Spin the back heel down, rise for your warrior two once again. Okay, so from warrior two, we're going to take it into Trikonasana. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Start to straighten the right leg, but keep rolling the thigh out as you do so. Press into that front foot a lot. Press into the back foot. Imagine you could rip the mat apart with your feet. Lift up out of the pelvis, keep that left side body moving back, and then hinge over your right hip. So reach towards the front end of your mat, take your hand down to your shin, and reach your left arm up. And roll the heart up. You can take that right hand to the mat if you like. Keep drawing the right shoulder tip back. Open, open, open the heart. And for those of you who want to go a little further, you take your left hand to your left hip, turn your eye gaze down, bend the front knee a little, and move. You can use a block. Move your block out to the right, create a little bit of space between your foot and the block, and then lift the back leg off the mat. And again, you're really activating that back leg. You can lift it a little higher than your hips, really opening the hips, lifting the left hip off the right. You can take your left arm up. Keep that front leg strong. Good. And then take your left hand to your hip, turn your eye gaze down, step the foot back, you can take the block back with you, come back to Trikonasana. And then spin to the front of the mat. Inhale, look forward into the lunge, and exhale, push back, downward dog. You can rest here or hinge forward into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Zip up the lower belly, really lift, 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 and exhale, downward dog. Moving on to the other side. You don't have to turn on your mat, I'm just doing that so you can see me. Inhale the left leg up and back. Exhale, left foot forward, spin the right heel down, rise up, warrior two. Find your feet, and then straighten the front leg, roll the thigh out, lift up, lift up, lift up. Reach with your arms, take the right hip, right shoulder, right thigh back. Hinge over the left hip. Try and lengthen the left ribs away from the left hips. So you're keeping that left side body long, left hand to floor or block or shin, right arm reaches up and heart rolls up. Sit bones press forward, thigh bones press back. Take your chin out of your chest and reach the crown of the head. So, and then just try and draw that left shoulder tip back. And again, you can either stay there or move into Ardha Chandrasana. I haven't got a block on this side, so I shall attempt without the block. Take the right hand to the right hip, bend the front knee, take your eye gaze forward, start to hip. Woo! Kick that right leg off the mat, and then roll your heart, roll, roll, roll. Really engage that back leg. You can lift the back arm up, hug sit bones in. Especially that left sit bone, hug the left sit bone in, and you can karate kick that back foot. And you want to try and get it in line with your hip. It's not that easy to know sometimes, but you don't want to take it back. But you can lift it a little higher. And open, open, open here, good job. And then take your right hand to the mat. Sorry, take your right hand to your hip, bend the front knee, walk the back foot to the back of the mat, the right foot. Come back to Trikonasana elegantly if you can. And then bend the front knee. Take it back to the lunge. Inhale, look forward, wide collarbone. Exhale, downward dog. Okay. And then from downward dog, hinge forward into plank pose. And take it all the way down to the mat. And just take a moment here. I'm turning around again, but you can stay facing the way you're facing. Good, just take a breath or two here. And then take your hands back underneath your shoulders, spread your fingers, roll your shoulders back, elbows back, activate your legs, but try and spread the toes. So hug your inner ankles towards each other. Try not to let the feet swivel to the sides. Keep the toes spread. Roll the shoulders back. Press the pubic bone down. Come into a little bit of a higher cobra. And then start to lift off. Sort of shuffle forward a little. Thighs are off. Elbows, outer shoulders are back. Zip up the lower belly. Go up, up, up. Upward dog. Mukha. And then push back, downward dog. Well done. I've got a sleeping dog, well, half sleeping dog. Right there, two actually. Good. Okay, inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale, right foot forward. Walk your hands around to the left, parallel your feet. So your feet, your toes and heels are in line. You're in a wide leg forward bend. You can fingertip your fingers forward. Press your feet down and away from each other. Lift the inner thighs up and back and hug sit bones in a little bit. Lengthen the front body forward, not the chin though, up until the clavicle notch, and lengthen the back body back. And then the back of the head lengthens forward and the front of the face comes down. It's like bicycle chains of energy, forward and back, and even in the legs. Fingertips under shoulders, press your feet down, inhale, scoot the heart forward. So like you're doing, this way. It's like you're doing cow pose, but with wide legs. So you're trying to almost arch the back. Draw the shoulder blades in towards the spine. And exhale, fold forward. Drop the crown of the head down towards the mat. Again, fingertip your fingers forward. Inhale, scoop the heart forward. Rock your weight forward, not too far, but you don't want to lean back. So try and even your weight between the ball and the heel. And then fold forward. Good. And then walk your hands around to the front foot. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, push back, downward dog. Good. Inhale your left leg up and back. Exhale, left foot forward. Walk your hands around to the right, parallel your feet here. Toes and heels in line. Take your, come onto your fingertips under your shoulders, and then take your left hand under your nose. Your right, push it into the floor. You might need to use a block. Your right hand on your right hip, and twist towards the right leg. And then you can reach your right arm up. And really try and use the energy from the floor. Press into your hand and open the heart. And then change the other side. Take your right hand under your face, left hand to left hip. Push the floor away from you. Turn, turn, turn. And then reach your left arm up. And draw that right shoulder tip back. Press your feet down. Engage the quads. Squeeze sit bones towards each other. Left hand down to the floor. Take a little bend in the knees. Now just grab your strap as you come up and come all the way up. Oh, so I'm a little bit disheveled. They never look like this in Yoga Glow. Take your strap. I'll turn around so you can see. You can half it and then take your palms up and grab the strap. Come back to your wide leg stand, toes and heels in line. Inhale, lift the heart, and exhale, hinge forward, press your feet down, engage the quads, reach forward with your heart, stop it at halfway, take another deep breath in, and exhale, fold, and let your arms come all the way up, as far as you can. So you're trying to get your upper arms as close to your ears as possible. So really let the shoulder rotate here. And take a couple of breaths. Keep the legs engaged, easy to forget them. Use your exhale. Good. And then inhale, come up to halfway. Release the strap. Walk your hands around to your front foot. Bend the front knee. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, push back, downward dog. Let's do another vinyasa. Inhale, forward into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Good job. Inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale, right foot forward. Move the right foot to the right a little bit. Reach your arms forward and up and come into a high lunge this time. So now you're drawing that right hip back, like we did in the low lunge. Try and keep that right thigh parallel to the long edge of the mat. Try not to let it turn out, the hip turn out. So draw the energy up that right leg and draw the left hip forward. So it's a bit of a balance here. So you might want to move that right foot to the right a little bit. Keep the left thigh engaged, reach your arms forward and up. And then interlock your hands behind you. Squeeze your upper arms towards each other. Really squeeze the upper arms in so your shoulder blades are squeezing in.
And then release, take your arms forward and up. And then come down to the mat with your hands and start to straighten the front leg. Now you might need to use blocks here if your hamstrings are tight. You're going to straighten the front leg, and as you straighten the front leg, draw that outer right hip back and in. So your pelvis shifts to the left, but press into the inner ankle and inner pad, in the big toe pad. So that front leg is really energized with energy moving up the outside of the leg, down the inside of the leg. And then you can press the back heel down. Now you might need to move it in a little bit to get it all the way down. Inhale, look forward, widen the collarbone. Exhale, fold forward. And you can move your hands back. Take your nose to your knee. Breathe here. Good. And then walk your hands forward. Take your left hand on the inside of the left foot, right hand to right hip, and start to twist here. Lengthen your spine forward and turn, and then you can reach your right arm up. So Parsva-Trikonasana, but a little bit modified. Our hands on the inside of the leg, and then take both hands to the mat, bend the front knee, move the back foot back. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, push back. Downward dog. Okay. And so let's try that on the other side. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, left foot forward, coming into high lunge. Move the left foot to the left. Get that back leg super strong. Lift the belly up, reach your arms forward and up. And you can wriggle that back leg back as you drop into the front thigh. So you want to keep that back leg straight and the heel over the toes as much as possible. And then take your hands to your hips, squeeze your upper elbows towards each other, your upper arm bones, towards each other. I'll keep my feet like this. And then you can interlock your hands and squeeze the shoulder blades in. Squeeze the shoulder blades in. Let's really activate that upper back. Hands go forward and up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Now we're going to straighten the front leg. The whole pelvis shifts to the right. That outer left hip moves up, back and in. The right hip hugs forward. You're pressing into the inner big toe pad and inner ankle of that front foot. And you're drawing the energy up the outside edge of the leg. And then you inhale, look forward, widen the collarbone, exhale and fold. Walk your hands back if it's available to you. Sorry, you should maybe hop the back foot in and get the heel down if possible. And there's a lot of energy moving through both feet. So it's almost like you're trying to split them out apart, forward and back. Front foot's moving forward, back foot's moving back. Good. And then bend the front knee, take it back to the lunge. Oh, sorry. Move the back foot in if it's knocked down. Take your right hand on the inside of the left foot, left hand to left hip. You're cutting that left hip back, back, back. As you turn, you lengthen the spine, reach your heart forward, and then start to roll your heart towards the left. Take that right shoulder tip back. And breathe here. And release the left hand down. Come back to the lunge as you inhale. And exhale, downward dog. Good. Inhale forward into plank pose. Let the hips drop towards the floor. Scoop your heart forward and maybe roll onto your feet for another upward dog. Zip up, zip up, zip up. Squeeze outer shoulders back. And exhale back, downward dog. Good. Inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale right foot forward.
back knee down, take both hands on the inside of the right leg. I'll turn to face you now. Both hands on the inside of the right leg, turn the toe and the foot out. Oh, my doggy's in the way. Probably bite my foot now. And you can come down to your elbows if you wish to. Try and let the hips drop. Try not to collapse on the left side. Shift the weight into the right inner groin. Shift the weight into the right inner groin. And let that left thigh drop down. So the left thigh is dropping down, but the weight shifting into the right inner groin. What? Moaning. Well done. And then push back up. Turn that right foot forward. And push it back, downward dog. Inhale the left leg up and back. Exhale, left foot forward, back knee down. Hands come on the inside of the left foot now. Turn the toes and knee out. Move that back knee back. So you really want to get a good stretch in that right quad. Move the back foot back. Make sure that this front knee is no further forward than your ankle. Try to keep your knee and foot going in the same direction. Drop your hips, but not onto the right. Drop the weight of your hips into the left inner groin, but then drop the right thigh down so that your hips are dropping down evenly as much as you can. You have to be very aware for these practices. It is a practice where body awareness intensifies, or we become more sensitive, which is good because that allows us to become more aware of our thoughts and keep them captive to Lord Jesus, which is what the aim is. Every thought we have, we want to not let it be in contradiction to the Word of God. So every thought we have are thoughts of peace and joy and healing and life. You can take your elbows down if you want. Even in the midst of struggle, because that struggle is taking place outside of our little bubble that's the house of God. So right here, right now, I'm in like a little cocoon. This is what I believe. This is what I have to keep my mind fixed on. I'm in a little cocoon. I mean, when you get into that cocoon, then you have thunder and lightning and the 24 elders throwing down their crowns, and all of that is in my cocoon, because that's all in the kingdom. It's a spiritual place on earth. Okay, come up when you're ready and take it back up to downward dog. Ow. Lift the back knee, push back downward dog. Pedal the feet once or twice. Well done. And then let's do one more like that. Inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale, right foot forward, left knee down. Okay, now we're going to add in a twist here. So take both hands on the inside of the right leg. Take your left hand underneath your left shoulder. You can take it on a block. Start to twist towards your right, and then reach your right arm back. Lift your left foot up and draw the heel in towards your back. And now you start to almost lean back. So you can take this hand to the mat. You can move that right foot over to the right a little bit. And sort of curl the back like you're in a back bend. But you're sort of putting the foot in and resisting and opening the shoulders. So I'll show you from this side if I can. Left hand is down, right foot forward. You turn towards the right. You reach for your left leg with your right hand. You pull, push, arm and leg, and then you curl back. And if you're more flexible, you can take the elbow down. And release. Good. Push back to downward dog. Pedal the feet a little. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, left foot forward, right knee down. Hands on the inside of the left foot, so move the left foot to the left a little. Drop that right thigh down. Press into your right hand, take right shoulder tip back. Turn towards the left leg, and then reach your left hand for your right foot. Pull the heel into the sit bone, roll the right shoulder back. Scoot the heart forward so you're curving and you're leaning back. So there's a back bend in your back. And again, you can take your elbow to the mat here. And release. Take it back up to the lunge as you inhale, collarbone wide, and exhale, down dog. Good. And then take both knees to the mat and sit on your heels. Okay, so we're going to try the splits now. We've warmed up everything we need to. Couple of props you can use for this. You can use some blocks. You can also take your blanket. I'll move my mat back a little bit so I've got a bit more space. So you can also lay a blanket at the end of your mat, and we can use that to slide the front foot forward. So take your blocks either side. If you don't have blocks, it will be a little harder. You can use books, or you can use two things of the same height that are quite steady, because you're going to put a little weight in them. You could use cushions if they're quite firm, just to raise the floor up a bit. Just practice, a little bit of trial and error maybe. And then come forward for a lunge. Now remember, we're trying not to let that right hip stick out. We're trying to draw that right hip back. So the lunge in yoga is a really forward facing, it's not out to the side. It's a back bend, so we're going straight forward. So you can take your back knee back as far as you can. So you're getting that stretch in the left quad. And then come onto the heel of the front foot. We'll do it like this. Come onto the heel of the front foot. Press your blocks down. Now try to keep your body upright as you slide your front foot forward. So you're trying not to swivel your body towards the left. You keep hugging the outer right hip back and the left thigh forward. So you may come down further than me. You may not come down as far as me. One day I'm going to get there. Who knows? But certainly I'm a lot further there now than I was 10 years ago, before I started really doing any yoga. So certainly this practice takes you forward. And if you don't do anything like this, if you don't stretch out your muscles, you're just going to end up getting tighter and more immobile. It's not going to stay as you were. You're not going to stay in at one place. You're either going forward or back. So at least with yoga, we're stopping the decline and we're going towards an incline. Ow, even if it's a little bit painful. Once you're at your maximum and you can hold it, push into the block and then try and create again that curling back like you have in the upward dog. So take the shoulders back, take the upper arms back, lift the belly and curl up. So it's a back bend. Eventually you'll be down on the floor and your arms can be above your head. Smile sweetly and then push into your blocks and pull that heel back. Okay, take a moment to rest. Touch your wrists a bit as well, pushing into the blocks. And then we'll do the other side. So again, take it into the lunge. Move the right leg back so that there's stretch in that quadricep muscle as much as you can get. Drop that right thigh towards the floor. And then take your heel of the front foot onto the mat. and onto the blanket, and start to slide the blanket forward. Of course, if you're on a carpet, it's a little harder to slide. And as you go down, I mean, I can take the blocks down a little bit actually. Maybe we'll take the strain off the wrist. Push into the blocks, scoot the heart forward, take the outer shoulders back. There's nothing lost in the back bend just because we're in a bit of discomfort with our legs. Zip up, 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 go back, curl back, and release. Okay, so if you want to hit the pause button and do that once or twice more, you can. Another thing you can do if you're quite far down and you have something like a bolster, which I have here, you can try to come down on the bolster. So you kind of prop your bolster underneath your groin, and you sit down on the bolster. So if you have that, and you draw that left thigh forward, and you lift up, up, up. And then you can let your weight drop down onto the bolster. You might need another blanket or something like that. Okay. All right, so we've done our peak pose. Now we just want to cool down a little bit. Maybe come to sit back on your heels. Take your hands to your heart. Just close your eyes. Settle back down. Let your heart rate steady. Let your mind steady. Let your breath steady. Good. And then just take your legs forward and sit up nice and tall in a staff pose, Dandasana. Again, like we did at the beginning, lengthen the inner ankle, draw the outer edge of the foot back, both feet. Sit up on a block or the blanket if you find you're rounding in the lower back. You want to feel the lower back go in, not out. Notice that. And again, the shoulder blades move in and they don't round to the sides. So they go in towards the spine and the lower spine goes in. And then your legs are nice and strong. Release the right leg. Take the right knee into your chest. Take the right foot over the left leg. Stay there, or you can take that left heel into your right sit bone. So just drop that right sit bone back onto the floor. Reach your right arm up and back. Roll the right shoulder back. I'll turn the other way so you can see me. So right leg is over left. Left heel is by right sit bone. Right arm goes back. Fingertips turn back. Left arm lengthens. And you can take the elbow to the knee or just wrap the hand. Widen the collarbone. Sit up tall. Keep the collarbone really wide as you turn. Don't let the shoulder tips drop forward. So zip up, up, lower back, lower spine goes in. Then you lengthen up and turn. And keep the head as an extension of the spine. You don't want to yank it all the way over your shoulder. It's like a spiral staircase. It stays even, integral. Good. Release to center. Straighten the legs. I shall turn the other way. Lift up nice and tall, release the left leg, hug the left knee in, take the foot over the right. Again, use that to lengthen the spine. Right heel to left sit bone, but left sit bone must drop down. Otherwise, keep the right leg straight. Keep both feet flexed. Both feet are flexed and active. I mean, this foot is flexed. This left foot is pressing into the floor. Press it firmly into the floor so the energy lifts up. And then again, left arm goes behind you, roll shoulder tip back, right arm to lengthen side body, turn to the knee, and you're putting the knee in but resisting at the same time. So I'm putting the knee into the midline but pushing back with my knee into the arm, drawing the right shoulder tip back. Lift the belly up as you turn. And with every exhale, so inhale, let the belly inflate, and then as you exhale, draw the belly up, scoop it out a little and turn into the space. And twists are great for internal organs, liver, kidney, digestive system, and for the mobility of the spine. Release to center, straighten the legs out. Good, and then we'll just do one forward fold here. You can bend the knees, heels on the floor, and fold in a gentle forward fold. Or you can start here with the knees, the thigh to the chest. And then from there, just start to straighten your legs out, trying to keep the thigh on the chest like we did at the beginning. Drop the head down, release the back of the neck, drop the shoulders a little. Take a couple of breaths here. Your hamstrings should be quite nice and long after that practice, so Paschimottanasana may be a little bit more accessible to you today, even if the splits wasn't. Slowly come up as you inhale, head comes up last. Place both feet flat on the mat. Take your butt forward a little and slowly roll down. And then you can stretch out your legs, stretch out your arms. Give yourself a nice big stretch. Take both feet to the mat, a little spinal twist, arms to shoulder height, knees together. Actually, let's cross the knees over, so you're really letting the whole of you're closing the thighs. And then hug everything into your chest, hug in really tight, hugging the shins and calves to your thighs, the thighs to your belly, and then to your chest. And then if you can, you take the right foot with your left hand, it's already over to the left side, your left foot with your right hand. Keep the knees together, flex both feet, and then as if you're pulling the feet apart, but keep the knees together, so you're not letting the knees separate. Pull the feet apart and in towards your shoulders. So you're kind of resisting and you're closing the hips. And then release, hug the knees in. Change the cross, left over right, hug everything in. Squeeze, squeeze, close the hip joints. Flex the feet, pull the feet apart without letting the knees separate. And as you pull the feet apart, you kind of bend the elbows a little out to the side and pull the feet towards your shoulders. So there's a few different directions of energy going on at the same time here, which creates a resistance. And release. Hug the knees in. And then stretch everything out. Stretch your legs out to the side. Come into a little bit of a spread eagle shape. So the right heel to the right corner of the mat, left heel to the left corner of the mat. Let the feet flop to the side. Try not to have anything touching them. Take the arms down towards your hips so they're not in line with your shoulders, but they're not touching your body either. Let the palms roll up, fingers relax. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale with a sigh through the mouth. Let all the energy leave your body. Let your eyes be very softly closed. Allow your jaw to relax, your face to relax. The whole body feels heavy, like it could just sink down into the floor. So release the shoulders, release the back, release the hips, the thighs, the heels and the feet. Let the feet flop. Feel the softening of the front of the body into the back of the body. So the belly is soft. The ribs are soft. The collarbone is soft. The throat is soft. And the face
is relaxed. Let the breath just come and go on its own now, no control over the breath. See yourself in that secret dwelling place, absolutely secure. The angels of God are protecting you. Nothing can harm you. No terror by night, no arrow by day, no pestilence, for you are in the secret place of the Most High, under the shadow of the Almighty. So you might just want to stay there for a little while longer. Or if you're a little short of time, just take your arms behind you, stretch your legs out. And then just roll over onto your right side. Make a pillow with your right arm. And slowly ease up to sit. And spin to the front. Taking your hands in prayer. And just being grateful to our Father that He is a faithful God, that He is a loving God, and that His kingdom has come on earth. And it's an ever-increasing kingdom of peace and joy and righteousness in the Holy Spirit. Thank you for joining me today. God bless you.